This segment is about accurate positioning and how to use your templates. Right now I'm going to slide the machine to the side and we've quilted out a curved pattern. We don't have a template for that, so we're going to make a template. We've got a film. It's a transparency film. We're going to lay it over our design and we're going to use a template pencil, but for today I'm using a Sharpie just so you can see it. I'm going to line up just a little bit. You don't have to do the whole design, and I'm actually going to maybe put some lines where my blocks are just so I know that I'm straight, or I can take a ruler and make a ruler line down the side, keeping it straight with the Mylar or your template plastic, so just a dashed line would work. So now we have this. Let me put a piece of white paper underneath so you can see. We've made our template. Now we're going to lay this out where we would like it to stitch. Now we could go where it's offset. We can go where it might create circles. So you have a couple options here, and it really gives you a great visual to see what you're doing. So depending on where you want to put your design, you would line it up like this. Now the original design is at 100% in size. So we're going to go to 100% here. We're going to go to QBOT, select our design. It was called Curve. There it is. We're going to go to Start. We're going to fine tune to get to the start point. So right now we're going to select 100% by going 2-point scaling. We're going to not move QBOT and push go twice, bypassing the question upper right and left lower. Keep proportional, we're going to say yes. Because the original design was proportional, it's easy to match this up. Go, move to start, so it's going to move to start, and what we're going to do is use our arrows to fine tune right up to our start point on our template where we would like QBOT to start. And you probably want to get close to see this. And another tip is you might want a laser light. On my quilting machine at home, I have a laser light that actually points right down where the needle is going to land in the fabric, and that shows me exactly where that will start. So that's where we'd like it. Be sure to move your template away. Ask me how I know that. I've done that a couple times, so through my template. Pull our bobbin thread up to the top. We have some offset curves that we're going to stitch, so we'll push the go button and begin quilting. This is a 10-inch pattern. If you wanted to do another, we'd quilt another, but at this time we're going to exit out. Move the machine and pull our bobbin thread up to the top. And cut our threads. And we'll cut our original threads. So that's the use of a template that you've made yourself. Again, if we wanted to add a second overlay, we would shift it, use the template, and fine tune to where we would want to go. That's just telling QBOT that we wanted to overlay. Now another use of a template would be just laying it out to see where you might want to put a block. So this is a block that has 3 separate designs inside of each other. You'll notice there's a start point here, so we know this inner box is going to stitch out first. What's unique about this design is that it will hover to the second path and then hover again to the third path. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to do it at 100% in size. And the design name is on the template, so I'm going to find the design. It's a block. Go over to Start. Seeing what my arm reach is. So we're going to do it in this block right here, even though it might overlap that, just to teach you today. I'm going to bypass the question, right upper, left lower, keep proportional, yes. 100% to scale. It's going to move to start, Again, we could lay the template underneath here and we could fine-tune exactly where we wanted that to start by our start point on the template. So we'll move that out of the way. Pull our bobbin thread up to the top. Have our scissors handy to begin. Cutting that thread out of the way, and that design will sew that center box first. Bring the template back over here so you can see. So the center little shape has completed. Now QBOT says raise needle, and the reason it says raise needle is some of us use our needle in the needle down position, and you'd need to pull it up at this time or you'll break a needle or maybe rip your fabric, because QBOT's going to hover and move to the next position. It says press go to continue, and it's hovering to the next start point, which looks like it's right here. So I'm not going to worry about my bobbin thread again. It's attached, so we don't have to pull that up. Push the go button and it's going to do the second section. Now I could go in while it's quilting and clip this thread just to keep it out of the way, or we could leave it. Because it's not a continuous line, that's why it stopped after the first design and hovered to the second design. That design looks really cute, and that block just as it is. So you could stop after this and do that design exactly as you see it there and leave it, or you could continue on and do the next pass. Let's do this since we can. Let's leave that block just as pretty as it is right there, and let's do the block here and scale it to fit into a block. Okay, so I'm actually going to stop doing what I'm doing up here. If I push the stop button when it says raise needle and press go to continue, it won't allow me to stop. So I need to allow the machine to move to where it thinks we want to sew, and then back out of it with my stop or escape button. When I do that, it says exit quilting, yes or no. We're going to say yes. Pull up our bobbin thread. Isn't that a cute little design? I love that. Bobbin threads up. Now let's fit the design, same design, into this block. Start. We'll do 4-point scaling. Right upper, right lower, left upper, left lower. Proportional, yes or no. We'll say no. Rotate. We could rotate the design, but we really don't need to. So we'll scale it. Came up at 100%, but because of this little thread in my block here, maybe we'd like to reduce this design to 80%. So I'm using the down arrow to reduce the design to 80%. Go equals move to start. We're going to pull our bobbin thread up. A good practice to have in your quilting room. Push the go because we do not need to fine tune. Now we've just taken that same design, scaled it down 20% into the block beside it. Does its little locking stitch there. Raise needle, so we don't need to do that. The needle's already up. Continue on. Now here's our third area. We'll do the outer ring, raise needle, press go to continue. It's hovering to the next position. This could also be where there was a thread color change. It just happens that this is not a different color, but it could have been. 80% was just the right size to fit in that space. Slide it away, bring our needle up, down, cut the thread. We'll cut these threads out so you can see how pretty the design is now that it's complete. So we've learned how to overlay, make our own template with the transparency film, a design that has 3 different positions because they're not a continuous design, and how to use the template. Positioning is really important when you're quilting. Enjoy your quilting with QBOT.